Hey, this is Lena from Remembering Wholeness, and this video is me just sharing about the ayahuasca journey that I did down in Peru just, about a month ago. And it was part of a retreat, a Pranic Living Retreat with Ray Maor. The people who were leading the shamans, it was a couple, they were amazing. And the reason I might use an adjective like amazing was that the organization from the beginning to the end was so grounded, so connected to spirit. They sang their traditional songs that are part of the ayahuasca journey in many traditions, and they had the most beautiful voices, and they had a harp and all these beautiful instruments and flutes, and it just really, for me, just carried me through a very intense journey. So the first thing that comes to mind, the first sentence that comes to mind when I'm talking about this journey is, holy shit. Like, just, and I'm not big on cursing, but it's sort of like, holy shit. Like, and holy shit. I had complete trust in the ayahuasca. There was a deep surrender to her wisdom. And I've given birth to 2 children, and this is, up there on the most intense thing I've ever done in my life. It is a little bit challenging to share specifics for me, but I'll just give you the best that I can in this moment. And after we drank, ceremonially we drank and we came back to our spaces, our little bed areas, it took surprisingly a long time for me to feel the ayahuasca. In fact, I had thoughts of like, oh, maybe this time I'm not going to journey. And I heard other people who drank after me, purging, having their experiences, and I was kind of wondering whether I would be journeying that evening. And then it just basically hit me like a freight train. I was trying to describe to a friend what it felt like, and I don't know if you've ever been on a roller coaster, but if you multiply that by like 50, it was so visceral, so physical, the energy moving through my body. I had absolutely no control. And honestly, I'm just like amazed that I didn't poop in my pants. That's just the honesty of it. Is just like, there was like prayer a couple times of like please I don't need to lose it on this level, but it was so close to just complete. I couldn't move my body. Somebody asked me if I was scared, and I was never scared. I had complete trust in her. It was just a level of intensity where I was needing help. And at least that's what I believed, that I needed help. And so I called for that help. And the shamans came and sang with me and just supported me in the beautiful ways that they do. And at the same time, the journey is my journey, and I'm experiencing what I'm experiencing. And I would say that I went through eons of lifetimes in moments and in minutes, and the rush on it was, I don't really have words. Unless you have that experience. It's kind of like trying to describe what it's like to give birth. Is fucking intense. And at least for me, I've done 4 other ayahuasca journeys before this, and this was not in the same this was not in the same ball game. I don't know about the metaphor, but it was really, really a lot for me. During it, I was praying for it to be over, And I was also feeling a feeling of like, I never want to do this again. I'm grateful that wasn't the first time that I did that, but I also think it's her wisdom that would guide me perfectly not to have that the first time, because if it had been the first time, I don't think I would ever do it again. It was that level of intense. She showed me the macrocosm, and then coming down to sort of the microcosm, and then my personal life. And she showed me how on a galactic level, I don't really have a measurement of time, but almost a timelessness of, what can I say, thousands, hundreds of thousands of lifetimes of my soul's journey as a galactic, I don't have a vocabulary for this yet, but basically one of my roles on planets is to absorb the density of others and transmute it. And she showed me how I was doing that in the room with other people on their journey, how I was taking on density and negative energies so that others could have their journey and their breakthroughs. And it's beyond me. It's not personal. It's just what I'm structured to do. I know that I came in to this planet with 7 strands of my light body already activated, of my light body DNA. So this has given me abilities that are beyond my own personal mind's understanding. And it makes sense to me. There's a logic, and I see the magic of my childhood and who I've been my whole life. And she basically showed me this in a more specific manner, and I feel that in seeing it on this level, I have more of a relaxation in myself of my sensitivities and how sensitive I am and how sensitive I have been. And it would be hard to explain in a short video of the deeper understanding of different experiences and different past experiences that I've had. There was finally a lulling of the intensity of the experience. I literally crawled out of the protected interior area and wanted to be outside in nature. And that's when I would say the journey was more on a personal level. There was a deep level of asking myself for forgiveness and asking everybody that I've ever come into contact with for forgiveness, and then really focusing on my children, my son and my daughter, just really feeling just my incredible love for them, and just this deep apology for not being who they wanted me to be, and a deep forgiveness of myself for not being the mother that my imagination could come up with, and just a deepening in the beauty of that forgiveness. There was so much love and release in the depth of the forgiveness, that I saw the perfection and the beauty in all of it. And it was kind of poignant and breathtakingly beautiful. And after spending time just in nature on the grass and feeling my body, there was a sense of groundedness and appreciation and gratitude for the body. And I found myself going back inside to be closer to the music, and did a bunch of just simple qigong exercises and danced for quite a long time. I didn't feel that I wanted to go back and lay down until really the very end. So there you have it. It's sort of I could probably speak for an hour or two on the journey, but I just wanted to share for others that might be interested that the ayahuasca is connecting to your greatest good. At least that's what I believe. And I had a really intense trip, and that's part of the journey. And I will continue to journey with her. I do feel pulled to, I feel like it's part of a larger unfolding that is happening for me. So I am planning on going down to Rhythmia again in May, in just less than a month, just about a month. And there, the plan is to do 4 more journeys. So I'll keep you posted on my experiences. And if you have any questions, please just write a comment below. And if you feel to subscribe, I would be grateful. And I just want to send a whole bunch of love and care and reminder to be kind to yourself. Blessings.